Hey guys, this is a little tutorial that I created here to illustrate how to migrate data into SAP. This version of the system that you can see here on my screen is the S4 Hana. I'm not sure, but I believe that it also is possible to migrate and to use this tool into ECC. This we replace the LSMW tool and also the above programs that is used to create data into the system. I will create here one project from the beginning to the end to illustrating step by step how it works. With this, it will not be necessary to read a lot of documentations and to get a lot of documents to understand how it works. In fact, after we do this for the first time, it's possible to see that it's much more simple than we thought that would be. So here I created some projects here. And I prefer to separate these modules, these projects by module. But I will create a new one here to demonstrate how it works. I will click here in create, and we have here two options. The first one is to migrate data from one SAP system. In other words, I have one old version of the system and I want to migrate information to the new system without using a local file. The second option here is to migrate the information from a local file. And this is the one that we will use because usually we have some conversions that is done in the file, some data that is changed. So we will use this to migrate data. Let me click here. And with this, we have to create one name for the project. In here, I will create the demo project. And I will click in display next available. Okay, step 2. And step 2, I have to choose the objects that I want to include in my project. I found here all objects that was necessary to one regular project. Of course, that some localized objects or some developed views is not here, but I didn't have any problem to find all objects that is necessary to one regular project here. Well, I have here one that I want to demonstrate that's for QM. Let me look for this one. It's just to type and press enter that the system, based on what you put it here, the system will look for all objects that have these words here. For this example, I use this QM master inspection characters. To add this in the project is just to select the line and click in this button to move to the right side of the screen. I can move more than one. I can move all of them for here. But like I told, I prefer to separate it by models. Well, after this, and I use just one, I will click here in review. After clicking review, the system will suggest to you add here the previous objects that you have to load before this one here. If I click in add, more objects will be added here in the right side of the screen. In the situation, I don't want to do this. I will just click here and do not add. Well, after this, it's just to click here in create project and it's done. It's just this. This is equivalent to create one new program or to create a new project, object and sub-object inside the LSMW. But it's just do this. Well, with our project here done, we just need to now follow some steps to upload information to the system. I will just to click here in the line and see that we have here the object that are inside the file. Here we have the tables that's used in this object. I can click here in this link and it's possible to see all tables that is used here for upload the master inspection characteristics. Well, to migrate information to SAP now is just to select the steps here in the right side of the screen. The first step is to download the template. Let's download here. Okay. Let me extract the files. double click here, and see that we have one XML file that was generated by the system. Well, XML file is a very difficult format to work with us programmers. Well, what we have to do here is just to double click, to click with the right side of the mouse and open with Excel. See that here we have the introduction, that is one overview of the file or some some instructions about how to fill out the file. We have here the tab field list. This field list is something similar to the field map that we used there. If you unhide some columns, it's possible to see the technical information also to each field. So we have the information if the information is key, the description, if it's mandatory, the format, if it's text, the size, the late, and also the technical information. So this is the base to the user's work in the field mapping with the rules that have to be applied to each field. Usually I export this part of the file to another Excel file and add some columns here to the users, add some informations here. See that here in this file we have different blocks. This first block is called basic data. This basic data is until here, line 69. And to each block that we have here, we have one specific tab for this block, because this is the field list, but the spreadsheet to be filled is there, is here. Let me open. See that the same general data is here, and the inspection methods or catalogs, we have another one for here. That's there, that's here, that the user will fill it. One thing that's interesting here is that it's not possible to delete, to add, or to move the columns. See, if I try to do this, is not the system does not allow to I do this, but I can fill out the spreadsheet with information. With this, we can ensure that our information will be correct in the right place. Okay, and after after this, we can forward this this file to the users like a DCS or like one preload file filled by the extraction. But in fact, this is the file that have to be used. And after save this file will still be a XML file, but completely populated with the information that we have to insert in the system. Let me close here. I have another file that's the same one, that is this one here, sample control characters ECC v1. The difference is that this one is filled, and with this we can do some tests and demonstrate the file. Well, let me return here. After this, the next step here is to upload the file. We downloaded the template, and now we have to upload the file to the system. Let me click here. It's possible just to select the information, select the path of the file, or one thing that we can do is just drag and drop the file like this. See that the system is loading the information to the system, and now the system is started to do some validations. This validation is in order to make sure that the mandatory fields is filled, or that we have information numerically in the correct numeric columns, and this kind of things. See that here the data is checked by the system, it's okay. If we have, for instance, if we have some column that is empty and is mandatory, we would see here one red message, and with this show messages would be possible to see all information that was missing. After this, the file was uploaded to our project. I will back, and the next step is to prepare. Let me click here in prepare. Okay, is already done. See that we have here running activities and preparation started. What is happening here is that the system is checking if the information that are inside the file is correct. If the information there, if the information inside the file match with the expected information based in the validation tables. In this case, the preparation is completed and everything was converted from the XML file to an internal format from SAP. And here the next step is mapping tasks. During this preparation, some issues was gotten from the system or some information that the system think that's not correct, we need to complete here or to make sure that this information is correct or not. We have to confirm this information. Usually in this phase, I return some adjustments to the users. For instance, this first one here. Well, the system is saying that the unit of measure n and percent is not one ISO code. What's correct? Percent is not a ISO code. The ISO code for percent is P1. But in this case here, I will let like as is because I want to see the error in the end of the process. So what I have to do is to confirm, like I did here. And I have to do this for all adjustments or all mapping tasks that the system suggested to me. In this one, for instance, language key, P. This is not P. I know that is PT. So when I do this, the system will replace all information that's P in this column for PT. Mapping of plant, BR10. This is correct. This one does not exist. For this reason, I will put BR10. So the system also will replace. Next one I will confirm, and the other one also I will confirm. Let me return, and it's done. Now is the simulate. Let's simulate the load. This step, the system is doing exactly the load, but without update the database. With this, it's possible to see in advance all errors that the system will generate during the load process. And for this reason, this one is so important. See that here we have 15 errors and 182 successful. This was not uploaded yet to the system, but now I have the opportunity to treat the defects before the load. So we have, if you have one high volume of errors here, it's just to stop everything and return to the user adjust. Let's see the errors here. We have 15 errors. Let's see. Unit. Let's click here in the error. And it's possible to see that unit of measure mapping percent target value percent is not one ISO code because this one should be P1. This is the error. Well, the next step now is to migrate the data. I will not do this yet, but it's exactly the same thing. If I click here in migrate, what would happen would be 182 records would be updated in the database and the system would generate errors for 15. So this simulation is important to make some decision if you want to go ahead or if you want to stop, adjust and re-upload the file and restart the process. So is this. In my point of view, this tool is a good tool, match with the necessities of the company, and it's easy to handle. It's easy to understand how it works. And is this, well, I hope you have appreciate this little tutorial. And I think that this can be helpful for the future projects there, and I hope to contribute a little bit with you. Bye bye. If you have any doubt, let me know.